It was the televised humiliation Meghan Markle never saw coming. On a night that should have belonged to Hollywood's usual blend of glitz and glamour, late-night titan Jimmy Kimmel hijacked the narrative and dismantled the Duchess. In a segment that has since gone viral, Kimmel laid waste to Markle's new podcast episode, Confessions of a Female Founder, branding it complete BS, narcissistic babble, and a masterclass in manipulation. This wasn't a casual jab. It was a televised reckoning. Kimmel's roast was an unapologetically scathing deconstruction of the fantasy world Markle has built, one in which truth is optional, criticism is misogyny, and ambition is a virtue so long as it only serves her own self-interest. In front of millions, Kimmel did what mainstream media outlets have tiptoed around for years. He called Meghan Markle out bluntly, publicly, and unapologetically. His critique was not just comedic. It was forensic. And what he exposed in Meghan's podcast wasn't just embellishment or vanity. It was industrial-grade self-delusion packaged in empowerment slogans. In Confessions of a Female Founder, Meghan Markle once again assumes the role of misunderstood visionary, the maverick founder of an unnamed cause, the alleged disruptor of outdated narratives, the noble survivor of misogynistic oppression. In reality, it is yet another audio installment of her relentless quest for self-validation. Wrapped in buzzwords like equity, empowerment, and feminine identity, the episode lacks substance, coherence, or even basic honesty. Jimmy Kimmel, with surgical comedic precision, peeled away the layers of performative activism to reveal what critics have long suspected. Markle isn't founding anything except a shrine to herself. It's like someone took a TED Talk, drained it of all intellectual content, and replaced it with Instagram captions. Kimmel quipped, "He wasn't wrong." The podcast is riddled with vague anecdotes, virtue-signaling monologues, and unverifiable personal claims designed to portray Meghan as both victim and visionary, a duality that conveniently shields her from accountability. The centerpiece of Confessions of a Female Founder is Meghan's own account of what it means to be a female leader. Predictably, she paints herself as a lone trailblazer, besieged by critics too small-minded to understand her greatness. But the facts simply do not support her martyrdom. Long before Meghan entered the royal family, she was playing fast and loose with the truth, from her dubious tales of working as a calligrapher to her conveniently selective memory of her upbringing. Take, for instance, her infamous claim that as a child she wrote to Procter & Gamble to protest a sexist advertisement. For years, Markle has regaled audiences with this story, portraying it as a pivotal feminist awakening. But investigative reporting by British media has unearthed inconsistencies in the timeline, missing corroboration, and highly questionable claims of impact. Kimmel cheekily alluded to this during his roast, saying, "If Meghan cured sexism at 11, why are we still talking about it?" The deeper issue is not that Meghan exaggerates. It's that she does so while cloaking herself in moral superiority. Her podcast turns a basic discussion about entrepreneurship into an act of self-canonization. And yet, Meghan's real founding experience, that of Archewell, the nonprofit/brand, remains shrouded in confusion and poor transparency. Reports in 2023 revealed that the foundation was under investigation for tax filing delays and unusually low charitable disbursements relative to income. In other words, it was raising more eyebrows than funds. Let us not forget that this isn't Meghan's first podcast debacle. Spotify's $20 million deal with the Sussexes, signed in 2020 and quietly terminated in 2023, ended in what one executive dubbed a grift. The platform canceled Archetypes after just one season, citing lack of delivery and underwhelming performance. Meghan's only output during the contract was a handful of highly controlled episodes with celebrities like Mariah Carey and Serena Williams, episodes that, much like Confessions, were more about Meghan than her guests. Kimmel's mockery of her podcast was particularly brutal because it highlighted the disconnect between Meghan's self-perception and public reality. "Imagine being so rich, so famous, and so insulated," he said, "that you create a podcast to explain why everyone else just doesn't get how hard it is to be you." He's not joking. Meghan's platform, like much of her media output, often sounds like a tone-deaf lecture from a woman who believes she is the first person to discover patriarchy. Critics and psychologists alike have noted the alarming narcissistic patterns in Meghan Markle's public persona. From her infamous 2021 Oprah interview riddled with debunked claims and factually incorrect assertions to her routine portrayal of criticism as a personal attack, Markle has created a media fortress where dissent is equated with abuse. And yet, paradoxically, she demands the spotlight at every turn. In Confessions of a Female Founder, Meghan positions herself as an innovator, a pioneer, a cultural disruptor. But what has she actually founded? Aside from Archwell, which functions more like a PR vehicle than a foundation, Meghan's most significant creation is her brand of grievance-laden storytelling. Her narrative is structured to maximize sympathy while evading scrutiny. It's a strategy that worked briefly until reality and ridicule caught up. Meghan's insistence on portraying herself as a royal rebel, the modern-day Diana but with Wi-Fi, is not only misleading, it's dishonest. Her claims of isolation in the royal family, of being silenced, and of being denied help have all been countered by royal insiders, official records, and staff testimonies. And yet, she continues to recycle these tropes in every public platform, from Netflix to Spotify. What makes Kimmel's roast so significant is that it reflects a turning tide. Public figures are no longer afraid to call Meghan's bluff. The protective veil, and yet, she continues to recycle these tropes in every public platform, from Netflix to Spotify. What makes Kimmel's roast so significant is that it reflects a turning tide. Public figures are no longer afraid to call Meghan's bluff. The protective veil, and yet, she continues to recycle these tropes in every public platform, from Netflix to Spotify. What makes Kimmel's roast so significant is that it reflects a turning tide. Public figures are no longer afraid to call Meghan's bluff. The protective veil, and yet, she continues to recycle these tropes in every public platform, from Netflix to Spotify. What makes Kimmel's roast so significant is that it reflects a turning tide. Public figures are no longer afraid to call Meghan's bluff. The protective veil, and yet, she continues to recycle these tropes in every public platform, from Netflix to Spotify. What makes Kimmel's roast so significant is that it reflects a turning tide. Public figures are no longer afraid to call Meghan's